Welcome back to Yang Daily. I'll be your host, Alex Cheney, bringing you all the Yang news you need to live your life right. Short episode today because I've been somewhat impeded by my reaction to the COVID vaccine. The symptoms haven't actually been that bad: mild chills, fever, tiredness, and dizziness. However, my sleep is easily disrupted. This happens to me a lot with colds and flu. I can't get to sleep, and then I have weird fever dreams and feel awful the next day. It's a whole thing. More of a personal problem than the vaccine's fault. Actually, I didn't think I needed to take sleep medication because the symptoms were so mild, but it's left me a bit drained. At least I know my immune system is doing its job, though, right? Small price to pay for peace of mind and doing what I can to end the pandemic, of course. Short though it may be, this episode is rich in UBI. Let's get to it. Quick shout out to our Tier 3 patrons, Peter Park, Shay Meehan, and Nathan Stankowski, as well as all our other patrons. You keep us all informed and engaged. If any of you out there want to join these advocates of humanity first and independent journalism, head on over to patreon.com/YangDaily. It would only take a couple of bucks a month from each listener to keep this podcast and community going and growing into the future. Now on to the news. Great news from Wales. The First Minister has confirmed that the government is committed to a UBI pilot. Unfortunately, there's nothing much more to say at this point, as there seems to be no details yet on the specifics of the trial, but we can certainly say big props to UBI Lab Network for making this happen. Great news also out of California. Governor Newsom has announced that $35 million of the state's budget surplus has been committed to guaranteed income pilots over the next 5 years. This is not a specific basic income program, but rather a fund from which local pilots can draw, meaning that it will be easier than ever to start new basic income pilots in the state. And across the pond, there's 2 days left to help German citizens implement a wealth of basic income trials. They're collecting funds for 3-year basic incomes for 10,000 recipients in hundreds of areas across Germany. Donations will also be amplified by Albert Winger and Susan Danziger matching them. If you want to contribute directly to a basic income, this is a good option. Finally, I'm sorry to report that Yang Gang hero Blair Walsingham is going through some rough times financially. Her father was in a car crash. He is unharmed, fortunately, but the car was totaled. Blair's friends started a GoFundMe for $10,000 to help them recover. Blair has been and continues to be a paragon of volunteering and humanity first advocacy, and she could use a little back right now. If you'd like to help, the link is in the description. And that'll do it for today's Yang Daily. Bookmark and share the Wales Basic Income, the California Basic Income Fund, the German Basic Income Fundraiser, and Blair's fundraiser. Flood Congress with calls, tweets, faxes, and letters using the ResistBot or Income Movement easy contacts below. If you need help, consult Humanity Forward, the Income Movement Aid Database, the Mission Asset Fund, or United Way, and don't forget to Yang Daily.